Welcome everyone to Three Dads on a Console. My name is Pez. I'm one of your co-hosts today. You'll notice that Waba Plays is not with us. He is counting out candied hearts in the corner, and we don't want him to join us on this Valentine's Day. And because of that, it is a two-dad show today. And I'm joined by my man Court. Court, what's shaking?
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
He probably literally is counting out something at this point.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It's
like
like
100%.
he is like, he probably is like in the parent Facebook group, and he's like, all right, how many candy hearts did your kid get? How many did mine
I,
get?
I do laugh that he wasn't even until I brought it up. He probably wouldn't even have said anything. He's like, "Yeah, you guys can count me out of the show today."
Yep. Didn't even like
And
put
he
two and
almost
two
counted
together.
himself out last week, right? Like
Almost.
I
Yeah.
had I had a very good excuse. I was literally flying back from
Yes,
Las
you were on
Vegas.
a plane.
I was on a plane. I literally was on a plane watching you guys live.
Yes, you were. You were
Yeah.
in
So
chat watching us live.
so But Wabo almost bailed on that. That would have been 2 weeks in a row. That would be, as we say in the biz, a paddling.
Yep. Definitely a paddling. Probably a verbal warning going into a written warning. Unsure though.
Oh, it would have been in line at PAX East, Atomic Wedgie in front of people.
Oh, would have been so great. It would have been so
I
great.
know.
Speaking of greatness, how was Vegas?
Dude, that is the greatest NHL arena there is. I am a Boston Bruins fan to the day I die. They put on one heck of a show. It is entertaining. Not a bad seat in the house. Mind you, I was sitting row 12, but still,
Beautiful.
unbelievable time. I saw my man Bruce Cassidy. Had a very good time. I loved it, man. I won some money while I was in Vegas.
Let's
I
go.
as soon as I walked in, I put $50 in a slot machine, turned that into just around $200 US. I cashed out, and my wife actually thought I was crazy at the time. She's like, "Why are you cashing out?" I'm like, "Well, I don't gamble." So I was just like,
Fair.
"I'm up." Like I'm in shock that I'm up. I'm taking the money. So I took the money. I took that money, bet on the Knights to beat the Oilers, put it all on that, doubled my money, and
Dang.
now I got $400 US to bring to PAX. It's the
Dang,
way I
man.
look at it, man.
Killing it. Killing it. Where did you guys stay?
We stayed at the Aria.
What'd you think?
Beautiful, beautiful hotel. Here is my disdain. The
Lay it on
smoking
me.
being allowed. It is terrible, dude.
Oh, it's
Like
horrible.
it is absolutely horrible. We decided if we go back, we're gonna go stay at the MGM Grand because it's no smoking hotel, no smoking casino. So you can walk to get to the T-Mobile Center. You got to walk. You can walk through all the hotels. So
Mm,
the Aria and the MGM Grand are attached. So you're able to get to it. So we walked to that hotel, and then all of a sudden we walked in and we realized there was no smoking in there. We're just like, oh my god! So that was the casino we ended up going to all the time. And then the other thing was it is a lot more expensive than the last I was there around 10 years ago. It is super expensive now to be in Vegas. It was like $25 US for a
oof.
drink.
What?
It's, $15 for a slice of pizza.
Dang.
Great time though. We had a blast. I'd go back. I think I would almost bring the daughter if I went back.
Okay, that's interesting. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
there's a lot more for kids than there was ever before. We also did see an adults only show called Absinthe.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Something we can't get into on this
Nope.
podcast, being
We
a
cannot get into it, but
kids
we
only,
could get
a kid
into I
friendly
did,
podcast.
discover a speakeasy there. So inside the Aria Hotel, there's this donut shop, and if you go up to that, you walk to them and you say, "I'm looking for something more," and they pull a lever, and this door opens, and you walk right behind the counter there, and you're into this other bar that has, like, a live singer and, like, fancy drinks. It's phenomenal.
That seems pretty dope. Seems pretty great. Sounds like you had a great trip.
Yeah, I had a very good time.
Speaking of great trips, you know what's a great trip? Helldivers 2.
Hey, dude, it really is.
It really is. It really is. I'm sure people are sick of us talking about Helldivers 2, but get used to it because it is one of the biggest releases out right now in 2024. You could say Pal World is the biggest release based on the number of
But it
people
took
playing it,
over. Did it
but
not just recently? Like, they hit over 200 concurrents today, right?
yeah, it was within the
200,000?
past 13 hours they hit 203,000 concurrent players, which blows away God of War's 73,000 concurrent on Steam. So Helldivers is doing magnificent. So you've had time with the game. I've had time with the game. What did you like about it? What don't you like about it? Talk to me. Talk to me,
So I'm
Goose.
playing on console. You are playing on PC.
Correct.
Thanks to our friends over at PlayStation Canada providing a code for review. I was excited about this game and solely based on I am a huge third person shooter type live service game, like the Division 2, which I was playing right before we started this because new content dropped. Huge fan of that. So I was already going to be okay with the slow pace because I saw a lot from the trailer. It is slow. I will say this: you don't move fast.
No.
Okay. My only gripe is there's no jump button. Like I want a jump button so bad. I haven't got to level 8 to get the jetpack, and then supposedly the jet, but you can only use it every now and then. You can't really
Right.
because there's bugs everywhere, and you're gonna die. I really, really enjoy playing with others. I will say playing by yourself in this game, I could see people getting bored and be like, "Nah, it's just not for me." Once you start playing with other people, the game opens up to this new thing because one, friendly fire is on. And at first I thought that was gonna be annoying. That's turned out to be the funniest thing ever.
The
That
best.
is just instantly yeah, it the amount of times your friends shoot you, but you can actually go up and you can use a stem to, like, revive them or a sword, like but the amount of times you get shot, it's unbelievable. The combat is so fluid. I will say, besides the server issues that they have been having, and I just recently got hit with them, but we found out the server issues are happening because they weren't anticipating this many people.
Nope.
So, they're having issues with so many people flooding the servers. Um, I've had no other issues while playing the game. Like when you load into other people's games, it is seamless. Whether they're on PC or their PS5, you hop in so quickly. Your hell pod just comes in, boom, the door opens, you walk through, you're on their ship. I'm actually very impressed. And I think that has a lot to do with the simplicity of it. When you get on the ship, there's nothing there. There's two NPCs you can talk to that are literally just they're nothing burgers. There's no reason for
Correct.
them to be there.
Yeah, they just
Your whole
they
thing is
spout
to save
nothing.
democracy.
Mhm.
There's not really a story, but there is at the same time because you're playing with everybody. So everybody that plays this game is playing together. Like today, we all got a present today, and then we got 10,000. What are they called?
Requisitions.
Requisitions that we can use in the store. But your spaceship is really just there for like changing your armor, changing your stratagems. Like the stratagems are things that we can call down, like machine guns and artillery and all these different like little, I would say perks that we can call
Yeah.
down throughout the game. Um, but that's really what the ship is. So they don't really have a lot going on there, which is great. And then when you go to the levels, yes, they are dark, but there's a lot of depth to them, and they look really cool. Like, I love how each planet has its own different atmosphere, and some of the bugs have different, attributes on different planets. I have fought the robots. The robots are extremely hard, but the bugs are super cool. The thing I like about the bugs is they can just swarm you and overtake you. The robots, I found that I could actually, even though they are hard, you can kinda, like, shoot them, walk away, shoot them, walk away.
Gotcha.
Kinda you know what I mean? You can go
Yeah.
back and forth on them. But playing with 4 players is so much fun. I can't stop playing the game. The level up system is it's decent. I don't th I do think it could do that a little bit faster. It is taking me a really long time to get to level 8, but I guess that it is what it is. I don't know what the max level is yet. I'm not too sure yet, but I think I wish there was a little bit of a story, but I totally get it because you're playing with friends. It's almost you never have to say, "Oh, you've played this part with me, and you played this part with me," and you have to go back and do it. None of that has to happen. You're pretty much doing, either go set up this or go do this over here, and you're doing the same thing, but the planets are different, so it doesn't feel the same. Plus, the amount of enemies that are on the world when you change from the different difficulty levels, it ramps up and you die a lot. Like I'll say that to everybody. Be prepared to die. And if you don't like a game that you're going to die a lot in, then maybe this isn't for you. And I will say this playing with randoms or playing with friends, it feels the same. I have never played a game where the community, have you seen this? The community has made up rules for everybody to follow, and everybody does follow them.
Yeah.
And the developers are extremely engaged on social media about the game, letting everybody know what's going on in the game. Heck, they liked our review.
Mhm.
Like, that blew me away. The developers of the game saw our review and liked it and left a comment on YouTube. Like, they're doing a phenomenal job. I love the success, and I'm hoping that because this is the first, to my knowledge, PlayStation, game that is day and date, PC and console. I hope for the future that these live service games, not saying the rest of them, but the live service games are day and date on PC.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will say, if I had to rank how to play this game, solo is third. Do not play solo; it's not great. Random's is second. I jumped into a game. I jumped into a random game. The moment I landed, no one said a word. This dude just dropped a stratagem and like killed half the team. Dropped like an orbital strike and just wiped the team. The thing with the stratagems is they are timed, so you can drop like an orbital strike and then you have to wait 2 minutes for it to come back. You also have a certain number of redeploys based on the number of people on your team and the number of and what level you're on. So the higher you go, the more challenging the level, the less redeployment you have, which is good. But don't think that if you're dead forever. You will come back until your redeploys run out, and then you don't, and then it's fine. But I've never, knock on wood, have not run out of redeploys yet. It's coming. We tried hard yesterday, and it was tough.
I've been playing challenging with the
tough.
super nerds from Console Creatures.
Yeah.
Dude, that is ridiculous. We beat one, and I was just like, I felt so accomplished.
Yeah. Yep.
But you run out of redeploys.
Yeah, you run out of everything.
Well, you don't actually run out. It'll actually refresh every couple of minutes. It'll refresh one. So when you get down to 0, it'll bring it back. So it keeps bringing back one every now and then.
I haven't. Again, thankfully, we haven't run out yet, so I didn't know that. But yeah, we've moved up. So just for those that know, I think there's 6 difficulties. It's like easy,
medium,
challenging, hard.
No, hard. I thought, challenging is before hard.
Yeah, hard, and then like extreme. And it's crazy. Like we played one on hard, and we had no wild cards in our group because we have a little bit of a wild card problem amongst my friends. No wild cards in the group. 4 people, heads down, objectives, nests, crushing it, and it was still really difficult at the end. But it was fun.
Yeah, because when you call in your ship to come get you, they're
coming, man. And if you play on like challenging or hard, it is just like chargers, the big bugs just like running in like rhinoceroses and trying to smush you. But it's fun. And the thing about friendly fire is sometimes killing your friends is the funniest part, like you said. We were extracting, and my friend Steve, we call him Rabbles. Rabbles dropped this dum-dum, because he's a wild card, just dropped a resupply like right at the end of the ship and killed 2 of us as the ship was taken off.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we laughed. I was crying. No, we just laughed. I was crying. He was giggling like a maniac. It was fun. It was a ton of fun. It's a great game. Again, I talked about the first one a lot when we were kind of getting hyped up to this point. First one was a twin stick top-down shooter. I didn't know how the third person would fit in a game like this, and I love it. I'm glad they did it. It's great. It's great.
I'm actually surprised. I think the developers were surprised. I think PlayStation's surprised. I think PlayStation was going to put this out there and hope and see what sticks, especially because now we're seeing like even the Twitter post of like, hey, who wants to come work for us? We've got to like beef up this game. We've got to make content for it. I don't think they had a roadmap for it, which is I'm okay with, because the game is a lot of fun. And this is the second game this year where no one saw it coming.
No.
Power World and now Helldivers 2. They weren't like, hey, this is the game everybody needs to go play. And it's turned out to be, hey, this is the game everybody needs to go play. I haven't seen that many Xbox people say I need to go play this. Like I've seen so many people that are Xbox only going, I've got to figure out a way to play this game.
Right.
And like go play it on PC. Like they want to go play it.
And they should. And it is very interesting how the 2 biggest games so far in 2024 are smaller games. I'm not going to say that they're like
smaller. I would say smaller development teams.
Yeah, smaller development teams. And they're not full price games. So like Power World is on Game Pass. If you buy it on Steam, it's $30. And it is Helldivers 2 is $40 US.
Yeah, $50 Canadian. It's still not that expensive here.
So so now, and we hear a lot about these AAA companies that are spending millions of dollars, right, in development, and then all of a sudden their game doesn't do well and they have to fire them. If we've talked on the show about how games like roguelite is just like thrown around by every game now. Every game's a roguelite game, and it's so saturated that to see again two smaller titles really, or smaller studios really like take off is phenomenal. And
And
you,
simplicity. Both games are very simple.
yeah, there's nothing difficult with it. There's nothing difficult with it. And like Pal World, I believe doesn't have microtransactions. Helldivers has it
Does.
in-game currency, super credits that you can buy, so you can buy items in their store.
But they don't hit you over the head with it.
Yeah,
So, like,
and you can get
the
super
version we
credits in
got,
the game.
we got the Super Spartan edition.
Yeah.
Once again, thanks to PlayStation Canada, which gives us the seasons pass. But for what I understand is once you buy the season pass, that's it. Like they'll just keep refreshing the seasons pass.
Mm,
There's no other ones to go out and buy unless they're gonna do like DLC for the game or so on and so forth. But you can earn them. Like you do,
yes.
I saw a lot of, and I think those went away because there was a lot of people on the other side because we always have the console warring whenever there's a, a first, I wouldn't call it a first party game, but a console exclusive game because it's a PlayStation published game. Arrowhead Game Studios is not a first party studio for PlayStation. Probably will be someday. Let's put it that way. After the success of this game, pretty sure they're gonna have to buy them.
Yep.
But we saw a lot of people saying it was pay to win and everybody going after the game, but I felt like that died out real quick because all the reviews started coming out, and even our review that we did, there's no way this game is pay to win. Yeah, you can go out there and go buy everything, but you're not winning because you're playing as a team.
Correct. And
You can't Rambo this game in solo mission. You can't.
every piece that you could spend money on to buy, there are in like the, I'm going to use the free battle pass. There's armor that will give you the same perks. So you're necessarily not finding a gun or an armor that does something that is only in the premium battle pass. You might unlock it quicker. It might look better, but you will find similar statted, similar perked armor in just in the store. And again, you get super credits as you play. They had a Twitch drop. So again, you can
That
get it with
Twitch drop armor's one of the best armors.
It's
to
good.
play in
I
the
use
game.
it. It gives you 2 extra stims and like gives you longer health regeneration time. I use
Yeah,
it as someone who
same.
has all the bells and whistles.
It seems to be everybody. That's the one everybody's using.
It's very good. It's very, very good. The one criticism I have for the PC side of it is if they're gonna make PC games, like optimize specifically the sound setting. Let us be able to put our our device inputs in the sound settings. If you go to 3Dad's console, I talked about it a bit on 3dadsconsole.com and showed the Helldivers audio page and the Overwatch 2 audio page and how different they are. Just again, little things that Sony can definitely learn from, or a Sony published game can learn from. But overall, like again, the crossplay was fine. The in-game chat is perfect. There is no PvP in this game, so don't worry about dealing with all that garbage. It is strictly a PvE, 4-person. Go out.
No loot drops, none of that kind of
Nope.
stuff.
Go out and just blow stuff up and spread democracy, and it is a ton of fun.
Also, if you have someone that's a higher level in your group and they like call down a stratagem and they call down guns that you don't have, if they say die, go pick up the gun because
Yeah.
you can use the gun. Like they're not level locked. Any of these weapons or stratagems, they're not level locked. They're level locked to get them. But once you're in the game, if your person calls them down, you're just as using them just as much as
Yeah.
anybody else.
And fun fact, so like there is a stratagem called the Guard Dog Rover, and what it is it's basically like a drone that sits aside, like that sits kind of to next to you as it floats around, and it shoots lasers.
A laser.
Yeah. So I can drop that, pick it up, and then when the timer is up, I can call in another one and a teammate can come pick it up. So you can have multiples running so you can drop stratagems for your teammates, just like Court said. And again, it's not level locked. So you can really talk to your team and figure out what's the best setup and really just have at it.
I truly think that's one of the things. Like, I haven't had this many times where people like that I play video games with message me and say, "Oh, we're gonna be playing, or we're gonna be playing, we're gonna be playing." I'm in shock how many times people say it.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like you know what it feels like back when everyone was playing the Division 2. That's what it feels like. Everyone's back at it. You know, Court was saying to me today, like, are you ever going to be in a squad that isn't full? Because like eight of my other friends have it. So like we're all just jumping in and out of games, and it's a lot of fun. And it doesn't feel like it's one of those games that in like by this time next week it's going to be dead.
No, it doesn't feel
It
like that at
has
all.
momentum, and the
Yeah.
developers care about it, and they're very communicative over their Discord and their Twitter and all their socials. And they right away were like, hey, we screwed up with the servers, and the servers are kind of a mess, and blah blah blah. And they have been super open and super honest about it. And you really have to respect that, because some will be like, oh, we're working on server stuff and that's it. But these guys are pinging their Discord once, twice, sometimes 3 times a day over the weekend, just saying like, we've released patches, this is what's in it, we've pulled back patches because we've realized from your feedback that like certain things aren't working. So they're really going after it, and I respect it big time.
Yeah, and it came out at a good time because like when you look at it, Justice League came out and it had more people trying to champion it more than wanting to actually play it. The
Mm-hmm.
concurrence looked terrible because Steam is pretty much um, a way to look at if a game's doing well, and that game didn't do well. I still say it's gonna be on sale by next week,
Yeah,
but
I
there's
agree.
nothing to scratch the itch right now. You know, Fortnite is Fortnite, and it's always gonna have people in that game. I'll admit it, the game's great. Who be
Yeah,
kidding?
it's great.
You know, but like I said to you, I haven't gone back to Call of Duty in forever. I'm like falling off NHL 24, and I love that game, and I'm falling off because I'm playing Helldivers.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Oh,
fun,
it's so good, it's so good, it's so good.
but it's not the only game I'm playing right now.
No, you are not, Court. One would
Though I
say
actually, in fact, we're both playing it.
we are both playing it. One would say that we are. I can't think of a good transition for this one.
Yeah, you know what? Wait, the game took almost 10 years to come out,
I
so
don't
we've
need a
been
10-year transition for this game.
yeah, a
So
10-year transition.
thank you
So
to Ubisoft Canada. Court and I got codes to play Skull and Bones, which releases on the 16th, I believe.
16th, yes.
Um, so we've been playing on PS5. Court, give me your impressions.
So my first impression is it looks like a PS4 game. Like I can't get away from that. It definitely is. I right off the bat I say if this game came out at the same time as Black Flag or like shortly after, this game would be huge. But
Yep.
unfortunately, the game does look like they have two graphics modes, and if you play it on performance mode, which gives you that 60 frames per second, which does look great, does play great, sorry, the water looks terrible. The graphics just look so bad. Unfortunately, because we're so into this next gen, it's very hard. So I am playing it on quality mode so that I get the 30 frames per second, but I get the 4K because the game needs it.
Mm-hmm.
It truly does because I will say this game is the epitome of development hell. I still think if it wasn't for the Singapore government, this game doesn't exist.
Agreed. Agreed.
I think
This is
there's
like the WB canceling the Coyote movie. You know.
yeah. So well, WB canceling everything, but uh, I have played just over 3 hours of the game. Plus, I played the beta, so I did play the beta. Um, I would say I don't hate the game. And that says a lot because a lot of people are panning the game just a little bit. And I think my only thing is I said this to someone else today. I said my biggest issue is I just want to play Helldivers.
Yeah.
So it's tough because I am a big fan of Ubisoft type games where you have to collect things. So it is more of inventory management game than anything else. So you're getting missions, and the mission will be like, you got to go get this, this, and this. You got to go get that. You'll bring that back, or you'll fight some ships while you're out there. But you'll need this, this, and this to make this. So there's a lot of inventory management between your warehouse and your ship. Um, the characters are forgettable, like the storyline, like it's pretty forgettable. But the sea sea battle mechanics are very good.
Mm.
Like the ship fighting is good. Um, the traveling around the world, it feels good. That all feels good. I just think it's a little bit too little too late. I feel bad for this game because there's no matter what, I don't see how it eclipses Helldivers. You're gonna get a lot of people to play it because will be available on Xbox as well, and Helldivers 2 is only available on PC and on PlayStation. So you're gonna get those type of players for the people that are like, "Well, on Xbox, what else are we gonna play?" So I think the game will do decent, but I don't think it's gonna be like a Prince of Persia. My guess, um, the review scores are gonna be like the 6s, 6.5s, maybe 7 out of 10. That's the best you're gonna get on this game because it definitely feels like an old game, unfortunately. Like I said, it's not bad. I think there's a lot of great mechanics about the game. I think, the gameplay is on par with any game out there. It just looks old. Like, even the NPCs when they talk to you, it's like, yikes. Like, when you're creating your character at the very beginning, you're making the facial hair, you're like, "Woof."
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks like it's glued on.
And like I noticed so I've probably played an hour and a half of it. And yeah, I don't know yet. I noticed so you pick up your whatever right in the beginning, and you have the two people on the ship talking to you, and the lip sync was so off that I was just looking at the woman speaking to me, and it was like she had marbles in her mouth while she was trying to speak because the lips were not in sync with what she was saying. And I was like, guys, what are we doing? Come on, what are we doing right now, guys? Come on, get this together. You are my ship people. You're my crew, and you can't even speak correctly. Come on, let's go. Let's get it together. But it made me just like sailing around. I just said I should be playing Sea of Thieves, and it's not the same experience. But I'm not a fan, and maybe I'll get used to it. But I'm not a fan of like just grabbing loot from while I'm steering my ship. Like I feel like I should have to leave the ship and go get it.
I agree. Like, even when we aboard the ships, I'm like, why am I like, because like you're able to, and I'll let people know, you're able to get off your ship and go to islands. But for some reason, there's no combat on those, which is a disappointment. Also, I've learned you cannot swim to your ship. You have to just collect sleds, set sail. I've tried.
Yeah,
You can go in the water, but you can't swim in the water. Um, it's like the game isn't finished.
right.
They almost made a really cool pirate game, and I think if there was combat on land and sea, and I understand no, you could have done this by just having guns and swords and not have 0 assassination stuff,
Right.
and you make it a pirate game and not an Assassin's Creed game.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? There was stuff I did like in the opener. Um, After you do the tutorial, you are like sailing around in your little dinghy, and I came across some sharks that were chasing us down, and I was able to spear them and pick up their meat and then go cook it. But it just yeah, I think I agree with you that it feels like an old generation game, and that's because it was developed 10 years ago, right?
Yeah,
So
did you see that when it gets to the quickest Ubisoft present screen I've ever seen in a Ubisoft game, by the way. It's like 10 minutes. Usually that takes about an hour to get to.
yeah,
It's like 10 minutes
10
in, and it's
minutes.
like it shows like 15 different Ubisoft studios
Yeah,
worked on this
it
game.
has to be every studio that they have. It has to be. One of the things I don't like is there are unskippable cutscenes. Not a big fan of that. Let me skip my cutscenes. But again, I've told myself to give it 10 hours. I'm gonna give it 10 hours.
Yeah,
Uh,
because you like pirate games, people.
I
Like
do.
Pez likes pirate games.
I love Black Flag. It's my second favorite. It's my second favorite Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2. And I loved Sea of Thieves. Love Sea of Thieves. Would play it Saturday mornings with like 12 other people. We'd have a blast. So I'm gonna give it its due diligence and review it for Court and I think are gonna tandem review it for the show. But I don't know what the staying power. And I, like you said, I feel bad because all I want to do is play Helldivers.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that's all
it's
I want to do.
weird. Yeah. It hasn't been a game that's like got its hooks in me since like the Division 2, where I'm just like, I'd rather just go play Helldivers.
Yeah, and like my friends and I are in a Discord, and we're saying like, okay, so we're gonna hit the robots tonight at whatever. If anyone's on, this is what I think we should bring, and we should do this, and we're strategizing playing that game. It's crazy. It's
You
crazy.
have a secret Discord?
No, I have a chat, my own Discord, but we have a one of our Facebook chats shut down,
Facebook?
and then it got so we moved the friend group chat into Discord.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
secret chat in there. Shh.
Secret chat in
Shh.
there. Let me see
Secret
if I can
chats.
find it.
Secret chats everywhere.
Secret chats?
Secret
I don't see
chats?
it.
Nope.
I don't see this secret chat.
Nope. Um,
Oh, no, there's a Helldivers too. There's in there, but there's a secret chat that I'm not a part of. Wow, that hurts. That hurts.
I'm sorry. I don't control who comes in. Oh, I guess I do control who
Yes,
comes
you
in and
do.
out
You're
of it.
literally the
It's my
admin.
Discord. But yeah,
Wow.
that's our friend group from 20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, but
Whenever
I know them
Facebook
all.
started.
I play Division to them
I
with
know.
them.
I know, but no one comes in. No one comes in, no one can leave. Uh
They're literally my clan in the Division 2, all these people.
mhm.
Mhm.
Yes, they
That you
are.
know what? The Helldivers needs clans.
Yeah, I so you're gonna think I'm making this up, but I said that last night. I was like,
I'm
I
not
s-
thinking you make that up.
I screwed it up and I said like clubs, and my friend's like, "Ooh, what?" And I was like, "You idiot! I meant clans. You knew what I meant." But yes, it needs a clan system. I think that'd be pretty neat because the social system is built on a regenerative friend code, which is fine because you somehow need to connect PC and PS5. But outside of that, there's no way to really differentiate when your friends are like there is no tier of friends. So if you have like 100 friends and 50 of them are playing, you have to scroll through those 50 friends to find the people you want to play with. Make a clan system. It may come now that there's a million people playing this game, but that makes the most sense for them. People also worried that like they're not going to
'Cause then we
introduce
get
more
rewar like,
enemies.
I get technically we're all one giant clan. I
Hmm.
think that's what they're trying to get because the
Yeah,
reward system is everybody, right?
yeah,
Because 'Cause we're all
which
trying to save democracy together. Because it's literally Starship Troopers, people.
yeah,
It is Starship Troopers, the video game.
it is the better version of the Starship Troopers game, which I have played, so I can say that because the
Well, I've
Starship
never
Troopers
played it.
game is fun. Starship Troopers is fun, but there's a weird building mechanic that I don't like, and it's only bugs. So there's no like robots, no nothing, because it's Starship
Yeah, but
Troopers. It's
bugs are
just
more
bugs.
fun to fight than the robots.
But bugs are the best. They're the best. People were worried that there's not going to be enough enemies, but I feel like the first game had like 4 factions at some point that you could fight. So they will open up more planets and more stuff.
Oh, so they've said they're gonna be doing all that. Like I said,
Yeah.
in the article I posted today, the developer put out a tweet and says, "All right, SOS, who wants to come work with us? Like, let's start working on this game."
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Oh my god, it's great. And I would have Court and I would have played it before the show, but Steam for some reason was decided not to work. But it
Yeah,
works now.
it worked for I was able to hop in, but Pez wasn't able to.
It,
So
it was
I
the
did go run the Division 2. Who'd be
it
kidding?
was the whole
Yeah.
Steam platform apparently for like 20 minutes. PCs, man. Can't trust them.
No, you
Um
really can't.
You really can't. But the good thing about Helldivers is Sony has come out and has said that they are going to start looking at dual releasing games onto the PC market day and date with the PS5. Now they didn't talk about the size of the game, so if it's just going to be live service, or if we're looking at like whatever God of War
Well,
3
they
or
also didn't mention that it was only PC. They mentioned that it would be they brought up the success, the initial, I believe they were the initial success of Helldivers 2.
yes,
But everybody is trying to construe. I think you're right. I think they meant PC. I don't think they meant Xbox.
no.
But everybody's trying to construe it based on something we'll talk about later. But yes, PlayStation. What's his name? What's the CEO's name?
It is it is Hiriko Tutoki.
Such a
Hiroki
good.
Totoki is his
That's
name.
it, Hiroki Totoki, because I
Hiroki
just love the way
Totoki.
I write. Yeah.
Banger name.
Um, he said that they were disappointed in the sales of the PlayStation 5 hardware sales, and that they need to take a new look on how they do their business. I think you're bang on, Pez. I truly think, and I said this in my review, I think that all their live service games that are coming out are gonna drop day and date on PC and console, and I think it's very smart to do so. Because 1, you instantly have a player base,
Yep,
and PC
huge.
players love day and date stuff. Like, they'll line up in droves for a game to be day and date, right? Especially a
Hmm.
live service game. There's
Yep.
more I think more people on PC play live service, and it helps build the game because if it wasn't for those PC players, there wouldn't be enough players to play with on console.
Right. And I mean, it just makes sense, especially if Sony is now going to be like, hey, you can buy it on PC or PlayStation and still play with your friends. It makes sense. Like in my article today on our website, I talked about, you know, like God of War and Spider-Man and Horizon came out on Steam 4 years after it released on a PlayStation console. And despite having decent numbers in terms of a peak concurrent, they would have smashed if God of War Ragnarok or the original came out when it came out on the console, those numbers probably would have doubled. But
I
they
agree.
they either played them on PlayStation or they just said, I'll get it when it comes out on PC, but then the backlog's too big.
Yeah, and the zeitgeist isn't there because, like, a lot of times with games, it's what are you playing right now?
Yeah.
It's the very popular thing. Like, I haven't played Alan Wake 2. I tried the demo on PlayStation 5. It is phenomenal. I'm gonna buy the game when it goes on sale, and I will play it, but not everybody is that way because if it isn't the hot thing to talk about now, people aren't gonna jump in. Like,
Right.
I don't think, and I'll say this right now, I don't think The Last of Us Part 2 was the remaster was a success. 'Cause I
No.
no one talks about it anymore. I played it, but I only played the newer modes, but Helldivers 2 came out and that's it. I'm out.
Yeah.
It's tough, but
It's
if
insane how like little that game is talked about now.
seriously.
It's insane. For such a big game, it's like no one is everyone's talking about Helldivers. Everyone. Or at least our world of people, both online and offline. But what are you going to do? Sony also talked about that they're not bringing any. How did they word it? Uh, they are not releasing major franchise games until at least 2025, which I'm cool with. People are upset about it, and I don't understand why.
But I look at it this way, we know we're getting MLB The Show.
Yeah,
They said they're not getting any Spider-Man or, God of War type games. We know we're getting Wolverine. Like, there are games coming. We're just not gonna get Ghost of Tsushima, which sucks because I want that
I
game.
know.
We're
Give us
not
a
getting
second.
another God of War. We're not getting another Spider-Man before that date. That's what sorry, my apologies. That's the way I took it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. What I don't
No.
understand is Sony can come out with a Helldivers or a smaller game and still do well. You don't need to have a plethora of first party titles every year because eventually it's not going to work. You're not going to have anything to put out. So if they're just going to publish some games and maybe some double A games or whatever, I think that's okay.
So Spider-Man 2 just recently got 10 million copies sold.
Yeah, so
That's very good.
that's
Like,
going to keep
that's
going. It's going to
yeah.
keep going,
I
man.
do agree with you, though. If that game came out on PC and on console at the same time, it would go through the roof.
Oh, it totally would. Like,
Would be 20,000,000.
yeah, it's just I don't understand. I know they like were trying to sell PS5 consoles. First off, you couldn't get them. So no kidding, your sales lag behind your projections. You couldn't get PS5s. Um or like Court had the Best Buy guy calling him, or he was there every day bothering him for the PS5. It happens. Um but again, I don't people are always on Xbox for like, excuse me, not releasing games, but and we'll talk about Xbox in a minute because Xbox change management problems and a half. Sony doesn't need to release first party games all the time. It's like yelling at Nintendo because they don't release a Mario game every year. They're not gonna. It's just not gonna happen.
Exactly.
It's just not gonna happen. Also, I'm really really excited for Princess Peach.
Same.
I
I'm
can't
gonna
wait to
get that
play
over
it.
Donkey Kong.
Same.
Like, the Princess Peach looks like the one I'm gonna get
Yeah, same.
because I
Little
had my ticket. I used it for, Mario, and now I'll get Princess Peach.
beautiful. Little Pez is fired up about Princess Peach. I'm
When's that
sure
come
you
out, March?
comes out in March. Yeah, March is kind of is a quiet big month with the show and Princess Peach. Maybe just for
Bro,
us
the
because
show,
that's all
I'm not
into.
gonna lie to everybody here, you're gonna get annoyed. Me and Pez are gonna play the Living Daylights out of that
I
game.
can't wait.
I think Waba's gonna play that game this year.
He'll get 2 solid innings and then that's it. And then he'll go back to mindlessly playing NHL. Although he said he's gonna try speed running tape to tape. We'll see. We'll see how long that takes.
He's not doing any of that.
Hey, he's a speed runner now.
He's not. He's never even speedrun a game yet.
No, I
He's
haven't seen
nothing
it.
of this thing.
Haven't
He
seen it.
just thinks it's cool and he's interested in it, but
He's
that
gonna
doesn't
do it.
mean anything.
I
If he
believe in
doesn't
him.
make money off doing it, he's not doing it.
He's not doing it. Which is why he's not here with us tonight. Doesn't
Yeah.
make any
If
money
we were
off of
if
it.
he was being paid, he'd be here.
he'd be here on time, if not early.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I don't I mean, and Wob and I kind of touched on Xbox last week. So for those that don't know, Xbox tomorrow, after you're done listening to this podcast, put on the Xbox podcast and listen to their new business updates because the internet is on fire with Xbox potentially going away from consoles, putting games on PlayStation and Nintendo, and it's wild stuff. I don't know if you have any expectations of this. Really, Waba and I last week talked about how Xbox kind of fumbled the bag in terms of like change management and how you get this message across, because it just seems like they're doing damage control right now. But thoughts on the whole thing, because we haven't talked to you since you weren't on the show last week because you were high flying. So what do you think?
So my whole take on this is I think Xbox has done a very bad job of marketing since they brought over even Bethesda. They've let Bethesda do their own thing and they've got to take control. Like PlayStation does a thing where we're all under the same umbrella. They do that little Marvel intro at the very beginning where it shows all the things. I think that is brilliant because it shows everybody as the same team. Xbox feels like it's a bunch of different people that are on a different team. They feel like the Toronto Maple Leafs, where it's a bunch of individuals trying to win something that they're never going to win. Phil Spencer has said it over and over again. They are number 3 in the console race, and PlayStation's outselling them 3-1, and PlayStation's not in the lead. It's Nintendo.
Right.
So they are already letting everybody know that like their biggest competitor, Nintendo, is number 1, but like they're one that they have to catch up to is PlayStation. It's a race that's not going to happen. And buying Call of Duty and all that didn't change anything because all those games are going to still be on PlayStation. And I think, unfortunately, the gaming landscape is changing and console exclusivity doesn't mean anything because people just buy both consoles now.
Correct.
So if your games aren't good, then they don't sell.
Right.
And unfortunately, Starfield didn't do what they thought it would do. We all bought it. We all thought it was going to be this thing. And I paid early to get it on Game Pass. And I was extremely disappointed by that game. I felt I got sold a broken game.
Mm.
I think this day and age, Bethesda can't put out games like that anymore. They need to put out games that work, and the Bethesda jank isn't a thing that I'm gonna willing to put up with. It's just not anymore, especially in the cost of buying video games nowadays. It's like $100 here in Canada. I'm jank is not gonna happen. The best game right now so far that's come out on the Xbox Series X to me is Forza Horizon. That game's still unbelievable. And then I would probably say Halo Infinite. I'm talking about first party or no, actually Hi-Fi Rush, then Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
And I still think Halo Infinite, their battle pass and how they did their progression system and their multiplayer is terrible. And it's a hill they're gonna die on. And I know that if they could go back, they would change it. Who are we kidding? It's a
Yeah.
terrible progression system. Call of Duty is going to be on everything, but it's going to be on their Game Pass. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Gamers have shown it doesn't matter. They're going to buy that and play it wherever their console is, right? We know that Sea of Thieves is coming. They didn't deny it. Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush are coming to the Nintendo. They come to the Switch and they're coming to the PlayStation 5. It sounds like Nadella has pretty much said that they're going to change the course and change the way they're going to be doing their business. They are not denying all the rumors that everybody's hearing. Like there's this Gears of War collection that's supposedly coming to the PlayStation 5. If it does, I'm going to buy it. Like, oh my God, if all the Gears games are coming there, I'm going to play all of them.
I love Gears of
On the
War so
PlayStation. I'm going to
much.
get all my trophies. Definitely going to happen. So sorry, it's my parents calling, but I'm not going to answer right now. I'll talk to you later. Well, it's about the tickets.
Mm.
And so I look at everything and I'm just like, is it that big of a deal? I think it is a big deal because the landscape that we know and what is going on is changing. So the way we see games now, if PlayStation is even saying what they just said in their meeting, hey, we've got to change the way we do business, because I truly think being console exclusive isn't a thing. I think what'll happen is you're gonna have time exclusivity. But I do think that PlayStation games, I think Xbox games, yes, they are gonna start coming to the PlayStation.
Yeah.
I think that's a foregone conclusion. Um, there's no other way for them to recoup all the money they've spent.
No, and that's the thing. Like games, Spider-Man was like $200 million to make, right? So if Spider-Man doesn't do well, which it's gonna because it's Spider-Man, but think of like what Halo Infinite cost to make. Let's say it's 300 million. And how did that game sell? Probably fine, but not great. They need to recoup that money, man. Games are getting too expensive for console exclusives. That's it. And I don't mean the cost of it. I mean that budget, baby. Like Grand Theft. Imagine if Grand Theft Auto, a $2 billion budget or whatever they're saying for that dumb game, is only on PlayStation. Like it's not gonna make its money back. Maybe GTA will, but now if you put it on Xbox and you put it on PC, now you have three markets funneling in to buy games. And I think that's what PlayStation is finally realizing. Like you said, Microsoft has always been on that boat. No pun intended. And Nintendo just is like, yeah, we're good. We're just gonna do this back here, and we don't care about you guys. And people will buy our
But
games.
Nintendo's in their own thing.
They've always been,
Their
yeah,
their console is for their games,
yeah.
and people are okay with that. But Xbox and PlayStation already have all these third-party games. Like, look at this year for PlayStation alone. All their games are either PlayStation published games or they're third-party games that they're promoting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, tomorrow I think is like you said, it's a big deal. It's a big deal in the landscape of games, man. It's gonna be a big deal. Especially, I don't think Xbox is ever gonna leave the console space. But we
No,
had
I don't think
those.
they will at all.
I don't see why they would, because that's how you still get people to buy Game Pass. But maybe it's not the Series X anymore. Maybe it's a more streamlined version of the Series S. You know what I mean? No more disk drive, which like we heard there were rumors about way back when, or whatever. Maybe it's not as powerful because it's gonna pull from the cloud. Who knows? But it would be silly. I don't think people were freaking out about them coming out of the console space. I don't think that's going to be a thing. And I think getting some of their first party games on other platforms, especially live service games, again, like Sea of Thieves, makes sense.
Like, the rumor is Indiana Jones is coming to the PlayStation. They didn't say it wasn't.
Right. They haven't said no to anything,
Yes.
which
They
is,
did on Starfield, remember? They were like, "No, it's a console exclusive, Xbox."
oh, did
Doesn't
they?
mean
They
it's not.
officially came out
They
and said
did
that.
no, I'm talking about when it was released.
Oh, right.
I'm talking
Okay.
about when they talked about the release for Indiana Jones, they never said it was Xbox only.
Right.
And the
Crazy,
rumors
man.
are that Starfield, Gears of War, and Indiana Jones are all coming.
Gears of War coming to PlayStation. Oof. Didn't hear that one. I love that. That fires me up a bit.
So we'll like it. I think it's very cool. I have zero issue with it.
No.
I think you will get people that if they're an Xbox player, they're still going to be an Xbox player.
Yes.
But you will not, the days of me buying two consoles, I won't need to do it anymore.
No. And there's nothing wrong with that. Eventually, man, hopefully all these games are just on everything. They're not gonna be, but one day we can hope.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see that day. Nintendo's never going to crack.
No, Nintendo is a whole different animal. Whole different animal, because they have their dedicated fan base who will pay to play just Link and Mario and whatever on Mario Kart on their Switch 2, Switch 4.5, and they'll be fine. And they're good with that. Also,
I think tomorrow people will overreact regardless of what the news is.
of course they will. Man, Phil Spencer can come out there and talk for an hour and say nothing, and people are going to lose their minds.
Yeah, because I was at a video game store today and I was buying some stuff. I bought SimCity, as I showed you. I'm very
Yeah,
excited to
I
play it on
love
Super
that, dude.
Nintendo.
I love that.
Um, and they were joking that they're waiting for the mass overreaction of people bringing their Xboxes in tomorrow to trade in.
Go on Facebook Marketplace, man. Get in a Series X for super cheap, apparently.
I bet you can. I bet. Hold on, let me go on right now. Go on Facebook Marketplace right now.
I love it, dude.
You
You
should have sold it while it was hot.
guarantee you could
$400, brand new Xbox Series X.
400 Canadian. Oof,
Yeah,
man, that's like
400 Canadian.
that's what 275 maybe American, maybe
Brand
300
new in the
American.
box.
That's
Brand new.
insane. That is
Yeah.
insane. You could just go get that right now.
And I'm looking at Wayne Gretzky's Overtime Hockey, the tabletop, for $85 that I'm debating.
Ooh, it's
Looks
not the
good,
bubble
man.
one, right? It's not bubble hockey, is it?
Well, no, there's no bubble.
Okay, I didn't. I didn't know. I don't know. You know what I am excited for tomorrow?
No, I have no clue.
MLB The Show's Negro League
Dude,
feature
the
presentation.
featurette.
Yep.
So those Negro Leagues, I'll say this.
They're so good. They're so good. They're the best part of the show.
Oh my god, are they literally are. The way the presentation value is like 30 for 30 ESPN. Like, it is phenomenally done. And what was the one thing I said to you when NHL 24 came out? I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get these moments. It's gonna be so good." And then we didn't get the moments like we do in the. And I was like, "Oh no!" Like, the storylines are gonna be good. We're gonna get told more about the game. That feature presentation is going to be something that I am excited for. Um, we get to see the first female Major League Baseball player. It's gonna be good. I'm hoping. We still don't know. I still think it's Vlad Senior, but we still don't know. We know that there's a Negro League um, collector's edition. We know
Yep.
there's the Vlad edition, but we don't know the legend. There's always a Legends edition.
Yep. Always.
We don't know what it is yet.
Oh, I mean, it's gonna be his dad.
It has to be his dad,
It
no?
has to be. I ever since they put the tweet out that was like, oh, it's the first father son. I was like, they're gonna either do a double cover, like a father son cover together, and maybe that's the legend one, or it's just Vlad Guerrero.
Do you
Hopefully,
think they're gonna do sets again?
oh god, I hope not. Oh, I hope not.
People didn't like it.
Nothing would irritate me more than sets and first day 99s coming back. Those two irritated me. The 99s I don't really care about because I don't play online. But man, the sets, I hated them. I hated the captains too. I didn't like it, but I think those are here to stay.
Yeah, because NHL did it too.
Yeah, the captain cards are here to stay. I didn't like them, but that's why I didn't play
But at
Diamond
least they
Dynasty.
give us everything. Like, the one thing I really like is, and I got disappointed playing NHL. And it's interesting. Anytime I play NHL and I'm playing hot, and then I'm like, oh, the show does it so much
so
better.
much
Like,
better.
they almost give us like a card collection binder, and we got to fill it. They do such a good job of how they do the collections, and like the All-Star game will come out, and you get every player.
Yeah.
There's not one. There's not they don't hide them. You get to have them all. You don't get you get a chance at the home run derby guys and the good cards, but they give you a chance at all of them.
Yeah.
But NHL's like, nah, man, you're gonna pull them in packs.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, you want the 95? I don't know, Claude Giroux All-Star? Got to pull in a pack. Only way you can get it is packs. It's like, come on, man. What are you doing?
So, mind you, last year I know with the show they kind of limited the diamonds. Like, the year before you get diamonds, and then last year was like open 50 packs, not a one
Nothing.
diamond. You're like,
my big hope this year is that they did something with franchise, because it has felt the same. I am a big franchise and I'm a big March to October guy. Please have added something in franchise to make it feel fresh this year. I'm not one of those guys that cares about graphics. You already got the nerds on Facebook and Twitter being like, oh, the graphics look the same. Of course it is. They're still making this game for last gen, which, can we stop that, please? Can we stop making games for the PS4 and just officially move into the next generation of video games? Because
I think this will be the last one.
God, I hope so, because I feel like, especially the show has such untapped graphical graphical landscapes that you can take it to, and it's held back by the PS4. 100%.
Yeah, especially like the stadium editor.
Yeah.
I think you
Oh
could do
yeah.
so much more, especially like the water features.
Oh yeah. Like
I was
and
very disappointed in the water feature for the stadium editor. I was like, "Whoa, this looks like Skull and Bones."
yep. But the Negro League, man, I'm really excited for that. I love that they included Tony Stone, who played for the Clowns. Fun fact about Tony Stone: she actually replaced Hank Aaron at second base for the Clowns.
Really?
Yeah,
And I noticed like Jackie Robinson's back. Obviously, Hank Aaron
of
and
course
Jackie
he is.
Robinson. Yeah, you have no choice. But that's another cool thing. Like people don't realize those are two. Hank Aaron has one of the easiest swings to hit with because that's the other thing about MLB the Show. Swings matter.
They sure do. They
So
sure
I
do.
had I there's guys that Pez hits with and I can't hit with. It's just it all depends. But Hank Aaron has one of the nicest swings in the game.
He
Him and
does.
Josh Donaldson.
Yep.
Josh Donaldson has a very good swing too.
Yep. My
And I'm
favorite.
guessing since Vlad's on there, I'm gonna get some good Jays. Like it's going to be a good game for me because I think I'm gonna get treated because we got a lot of Angels last year, and I think I'm gonna get some Jays now.
1000% you will.
We're definitely getting a dirty Roy Halladay Blue Jay card.
You gotta is the big guy finally getting dropped?
Roger Clemens,
No, Jose
Barry
Bautista.
Bonds. I hope
You're
so because I would love a Batista, and maybe because we have Vlad in the game, like Vlad's on the cover.
yeah,
Because it was interesting. I looked. So the last Blue Jay to be on the cover was Josh Donaldson. Before that, there was Canadian covers. So we did get Russell Martin. There are Canadian covers for the game, but officially that was the North American release was Josh Donaldson. So
yeah,
like I would assume we're getting some Blue Jay content. Like I'm going to get a Blue Jay program right off the bat, which is going to be very cool for me. One of the very first programs is going to be the side set,
yep,
the feature program, and then the regular program. The side program. I'm going to get a Jays one,
yeah,
which
definitely,
I'm excited for.
definitely. I would love to get. I mean, you mentioned Bonds. I don't think he'll ever be in, but like Clemens, uh, would be awesome. Like a Blue Jays
They
Clemens
usually
would
always
be
have a
great.
new guy. So last year was Jeter, right? So who are we going to get that they never got before?
I don't know, Alex Rodriguez maybe. Uh, Ichiro isn't hasn't had cards,
Ooh,
so maybe Ichiro.
he'd be good.
Because they dripped
Because I'm
some.
tired of Chipper Jones. I'm
Yeah,
tired of it.
and they dripped some like legends last year with like Mike Lowell was in there for the first time, but like they always drop a big legend like they did
Yes,
with Jeter, and I'm hoping it's a guy like again. I would love a
because the
Clemens.
one year was Ken Griffey. Well, we
Yeah,
always get Griffey.
yeah. Um, I would love a Clemens. I would love an Ichiro. I would love an A Rod. And again, you can do A Rod in Seattle as like one of the rookie cards, and then you can do a New York and Texas and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the show. Again, I'm excited for it. I'm going to play it on Game Pass. Um, I just really hope that they pay attention to the offline stuff because Road to the Show has been the same, I feel like, since I started playing the show in '06. Like, I feel like it's just pretty much been the same. And I don't know what you can do with a single player career mode anymore that isn't just like hokey, like EA dumb, like, oh, you're now moving into a mansion 3 weeks into the game. So I don't know what they can do, but I'm hoping the offline gets some attention. But I'm really excited about the Negro League stuff tomorrow.
We get this feature presentation, and then I think we get another one. Let me just look it up real quick.
Yeah, I think there is a few of them coming, which would be all right. Here we go. I have the schedule. February 9th. Oh no, this is last year. Oh no, this says 2024. February 14th, gameplay. February 23rd, Diamond Dynasty. The second is Road to the Show and Face Scan. The 9th is franchise MTO presentation and commentary. And then March 15th is development team tournament. Don't care about
So there
that.
is no Legends. There is no Legends cover this year. It's just they're going to do Negro League.
Interesting.
That makes sense because
Interesting.
they showed the hat. So there is no big Legend this year.
Shame. Oh well, that's okay. Maybe we'll get stuff during their feature premiere. So we get 4 feature premieres this year. They're doing a ratings reveal show. They're doing a dev tourney, which I don't care about. And then the 19th of March is launch day. So we're a little over a month away. It's pretty dope. Pretty excited about that.
Very excited. It comes out right when we go to PAX.
Yeah. Yes, it does. It comes out the week we go to PAX. That comes out Tuesday the 19th, Thursday the 21st. We'll be at PAX. Crushing it. Court, anything else you want to leave these lovely folks with today?
The Deadpool Wolverine trailer was awesome, and I can't wait for that movie.
It was awesome. It looks really good.
And the Super Bowl was actually extremely entertaining.
See, I didn't enjoy it up until the fourth quarter, and then I was all in.
Yeah, it was good.
Fourth quarter, overtime, was good. I have nothing to. I do have something to leave you with. Head on over to youtube.com/3dads on a console. We have a bunch of new content. Go check out our Helldivers review. I have a review of Enshrouded. Court's been crushing it with our shorts. 3dadsconsole.com is our website. Articles up like all the time. Most of them are from Court, but I've been sprinkling them in there.
You
candy
in there.
on an ice cream.
We only have one slacker.
Yeah, and it's definitely not Waba Plays. Wink, wink. Yeah, so enjoy the content. Thank you all for hanging out with us today, the Two Dad Show. We will see you next time on our podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please rate it 5 stars. If you didn't, too bad. We will talk to you next time. Goodbye.